Hey, good morning, good afternoon. This is worth repeating. Sorry, I had a toothache. Still do. I don't know what's up. Um, so my whole life culminates on this day. Everything I've been talking about, my whole life, well, my whole YouTube life existence, how the market never goes down. Meeting VWAP, the bull market, the trade setup, knowing what you're doing, using the setup to confirm your bullishness. All of that stuff, everything I've talked about my entire life, or my entire internet life, or my entire guru life, was validated today, right? We're in a bull market. So, bull market. They throw some bullshit at the bull market. You're supposed to what? Not care. You cared, right? They had all weekend, right? To try to scare you. That's why they did it Friday at the close to inflict the most fear they could. The bulls, all we thought, and I'm considering myself a bull now because we're still in this market. I'm not going to pretend I'm bullish. We thought, ooh, I hope the market's even down Monday morning because usually if normally something bad happens on a Friday, you get all weekend to stew about it and it gets worse on Monday. That was the plan. That was their plan, right? But the market's not falling for that, right? So if you came in this morning, everything that we've talked about, economic data, fundamentals, anything macro doesn't count. Nobody cares. We're in the third stage of a power gap. We've power gapped 3 times in 5 weeks. Do you understand now what that means? We can't go down. And I will change my tune when we enter one of the power gaps on the downside. One of them. We haven't even flirted with the last one. How you doing? So everything I talk about, all right, Mondays. If Mondays are gap down in a bull market, what are you normally doing? You're a buyer. And what are you using VWAP for? To confirm your bias. So you came in laughing, oh, good, the market's still down. It won't stay down. That's your thought process because the market doesn't go down anymore. And bull markets are usually really strong on Mondays. And gap down Mondays are normally bought in a bull market anyway. But you waited to see confirmation of your bias. And then you got it, right? Pre-market, right at the open. And then you had to choose one or two names to go along with it. Qs are always a great choice. That's where you go first. Daily options, nothing better than this product ever made. Then you go to the one earnings report, ZIM. Yeah, it was slightly up at the open. Then it dipped and went red. I'm more of a buyer. Again, I'm bullish to the buy side. So I'm just looking for confirmation of bias. Got confirmation of bias on Zim rather quickly. Stock wound up doing a lot better than I thought. And then it became a short, inevitably, which was all right. And I didn't partake. I'm not partaking in the short side of trading right now. But Zim, after the beautiful long, 2 longs, 3 longs, 3 longs then became a short and then a confirmation of a short. That was later on in the day. And then you had my favorite new stock, Core Weave or Cross Weave or whatever it is. Does it matter what they do? No, still don't know what they do. Core Weave, something internet, something Bitcoin possibly, something server farm. I don't even know what they do. Now here's the funny part. I think I've talked about this last week. I was listening to a couple of analysts talk about it around the IPO day, right? And I was reading on the internet, just hear comment, just to see what people's attitudes were. I like when everybody's bearish or everybody's bullish. I like taking the other side. But in this case, you had an even amount of people, but the ones that I saw weren't the most extreme ones. One guy said he can't believe this stock's opening up at $40. What a screaming buy it is. This is a company that its functionality, whatever they provide, the industry that they provide it to couldn't exist or function without them. Sounds like a monopoly to me. I'm like, ooh, what the hell's CoreWeave? I'm in. And then the next guy comes on. He says, this is the most overvalued IPO. It's a dog shit company. and their product will be obsolete by the time the IPO comes due comes out this week. Oh my God. So one guy was like, this company's going to zero. One guy's thinking you can't live without it. Okay. Obviously, my bias is bullish. You show me an IPO that doesn't go down, I buy it, right? But it did go down first, right? A little bit, then it came back. More importantly, if you didn't know, CoreWeave, CRWV, right? CRWV. When did I get super bullish on it? When they reported earnings and the stock popped and then got hammered. Ow. Toothache. The stock got hammered, right? And then it what? And then it faux show broed and VWAP reversed to the upside, creating a brand new trade. So out of a rip, I believe it went up first, then it got slapped, right? I'm trying to remember earnings day. Hang on a second. Earnings day, yeah. First it ripped, and then it rolled and got terrorized. And then we had the dip and rip the next day, and then it rolled and still came back, right? And then it ripped again and it rolled and it still came back. That's why now it's basically my favorite stock. And then it ripped and then it rolled and then it still came back. You know what that is? Those are all faux show bros, the rip and roll and then the comebacks. So the stock was amazing to trade also intraday. But the fact that it keeps coming back, you guys are taking notes, right? I got to put my book out, right? If you turn to the brochure, I think it's on page 37. If you don't have the brochure, infinitesimally small balls coming to a bookstore near you. We call it the brochure. Page 36 in the brochure, class. What page? Page 36 in the brochure. If it doesn't want to die, it remains a buy. There's a bunch of words after that, but that's pretty much the whole chapter. If it doesn't want to buy, if it doesn't want to die, it remains a buy. And guess what I'm going to say next? Confirmation of bias. Confirmation of bias. Right. So let's say you got a stock. All right, tough guy. Been listening to your videos since 2007. Congratulations on your son. By the way, my son graduated college this week. He's coming up the road. He should be here in a half an hour. My family is going to be together for the first time in a very long time. My daughter's home. My son's home. My wife's coming home. And my cousin caught some good striped bass. So it's going to be a wonderful day here in the Glick household tonight. I'm looking forward to it. What was my point? I don't know what my point was now. You see, I'm very opposite-minded. My point is, VWAP. So you said, hey, tough guy, I've been watching you since 2007. You seem to sort of know what you're talking about. I've been meaning to come to your chat room for the last 17 years, but I'm going to come today. And you walked in, you said, oh, that core weave doesn't look too, is it core weave or cross weave? I think it's core weave. I don't even know. Yeah. Hey, that core weave doesn't look so hot this morning, doesn't it? Doesn't it look hot? It's down. And it's a stock that keeps breaking VWAP and going up. So you went and looked at CoreWeave and you said, all right, cool. I'm going to watch CoreWeave today and wait for that thing that you say. What is it called again, Kenny? The faux show bro. Right. So when it breaks a new low and then comes back and breaks VWAP, you want to buy it, right? And then today, your first day after waiting to be part of my chat room since 2007, you finally showed up. And the first trade you put on is a faux show bro CoreWeave multi-day VWAP breakout at 79 a quarter, and you bang it out at $87 a share. And now you're thinking to yourself, why haven't I joined this chat room before? Right. You should have. But more importantly, folks, I know if you're listening to this video, who the hell wants to sit into a chat room, right? And again, you don't have to sit there all day. 8:30 to 11:30, I'll give you the world. The world. But now we've got the algorithm. So the algo is searching the symbols that I know are going to make a move. That's my specialty. I know which stocks to focus on every day. it's going to spit them out to you. You're going to get an alert. All right, we're buying core weave at 79 and a quarter. Obviously, you got to put the trade on. It's not going to auto trade it for you, right? And you're going to get the alert, and you're going to get the target, and you're going to get a reminder when stocks go up, you sell some. That's going to be, and I know it sounds silly to remind people that, but you have to sell. So if you bought the stock at 79 and a quarter, by the time it was at $80, and let's say you've got, well, let's talk about options for a second. Let's say you got 10 contracts and they were, the contracts were the $80 calls this morning. And they weren't cheap, right? By no, no, they weren't cheap, right? So your entry point is $5, right? So by the time they're at 660, you're selling one contract. But let's say you bought 10 contracts, right? And you sold some, and then you raise your stop. Your stop, get this, kids, right, would have been 485 on the trade. They went back to 5. Maybe you would have got stopped out of 1 there, but then they ripped and they went to 7, and you would have sold one. They came back and they went back to 575. You would have sold one. And then you're raising your stop to track the trade with the VWAP. So as the day goes along, we're going to send alerts to make sure you're selling. Because I say this to be, I don't want to be mean about it, or if you let a profitable trade become a loss, that's on you, right? So when I've been saying this trade, how this trade works and it never fails, oh, it could fail, and it does fail in the middle of the day, like Zim. But if you're buying a stock at 19 and a quarter and it goes to 21.50, I think it went to, and you waited and didn't sell any until it became a loss, you're borderline insane, right? The trade works. That doesn't mean it's going to stay like the Qs today worked. And yeah, you could have stayed long from 9:30 to 4 o'clock. There was one stop in the middle of the day, but you never got out of the entire position at one price, did you? Of course not. So I think the alert should be packaged. I think this is how we're going to do it. And we're trying to figure this out right now because I want to make it the best. If I'm going to release a scanner, if Glick's Picks is finally going live, I want to make sure it is. I want to pretend that I'm the end user. I want to make it easy to use. It's got to work. And it's got to be understandable for the person that doesn't completely understand everything that we're doing. But I think the main point is if you're buying a stock and you're up money, you sell some and then you raise your stop. That's the essence of the trade. So then when it rolls over, not every trade is going to be like QQQ where you got one stop and you stayed in the whole trade the whole day. More like Zim, even CoreWeave. CoreWeave did pull back at one point where you were kind of forced to sell if you were using VWAP, but that trade in itself became a new entry for the faux show bro VWAP player. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to try to package the alert with a small tidbit of education there for you. And then you'll start to notice that most of the trades are going to be really just redundant because it's the same set. And then, of course, the market never goes down. So all right, it is helping the the buy side bias trades are working really awesomely because the market's never going down ever again, ever, right? Did I do a video this morning? I don't forget. I got a toothache. I can't really concentrate too hard right now. It hurts. But damn, it is it's something. Somebody said, "How come I'm so mad about the Moody's downgrade?" I'm not mad. I'm mad for people that are going to be victimized. Victimized. I was happy. I was happy. Oh, good. They threw something at the market. Maybe we get a gap down on Monday. What I'm mad about is that first of all, I'm mad about Moody's still being a company. They should have been disbanded after the 2008 crisis, right? Because they're the ones who caused it. But somebody said, "Aren't you a bear?" I'm like, "Yeah, it suits me to be bearish because I know most stocks are garbage, and I don't really enjoy owning stocks because I'm a bear. But I trade right now. I know when to stay bullishly biased, which is most of the time. I mean, I'm pretty good at picking tops, but nothing was better than where we're at right now. I mean, on April 9th, I was like, well, that's over. I mean, I won't make the same mistake twice. You're gonna throw a 12% candle in my face. The bear market's over that day. Anyway, so that's the plan. I'm gonna have something where probably my lifetime. I don't call anybody lifetime, but the ultra. I don't even know what they call them. The unlimited people. If you guys don't know, I have like a. I don't. I'm not independent anymore. I have a team now. Stock market media. There's lots of moving parts. There's apps. They have an app that they sell to their clients, which I'm trying to get my algorithm to be part of their app. And you know, I got to pay the developer. I got to pay the software engineer. I even got to pay. Well, if Dave comes back, I need an inputter, somebody to input that stuff. A lot of moving parts. Obviously by choice, I would say come and hang out for a couple of years and learn what I do, and then you become your own operator. But this is for the guy or the people that don't want to sit around and don't want to miss anything. So it's good for the people that are even in the room, because we're, for instance, today, I didn't even catch the core weave until like the third one, and it would have been right on the alert. What else did we have on the alert today? I didn't. QMCO. I would have gotten an earlier alert to that one. Newsmax, even the bull trade, BULL. We had one. Anyway, there's just a lot of good stuff going on, and hopefully it's really about the packaging right now and the functionality. And if I'm not good with it, then I'm not going to release it. So we're right there. We're right there. It's working, that's for sure. It's just how to demo it without sitting and listening to me talk for an hour. But I think somewhere in the middle, a tidbit of education of how to use it, and then putting it in action. But I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier being a bull. That's for sure. So now I need to find the striped bass recipe, because I got some nice, big, thick striped bass cutlets. So what are we going to do with those? Are we just go olive oil, striped bass recipes? Anybody? It's easy. Put them on the foot. Should I bake them? I usually go on the grill. Pan seared. Pan seared is good. Striped bass. Paprika. Paprika is gross. Marinated mix, crushed green onions, all good, and then grill it. Yeah, see, that's what I usually do. Yeah. Why am I talking to you guys about this? I don't know. I'm on to something else. Oh, sweet and sour striped bass. I love China. I love Tesla. Anyway, so that's what's coming. So hope I'll see you guys soon. And then if anybody's in Jersey, should be fun Friday if you guys want to hang. Asbury Park, Friday night. Joe Russo's, what do they call themselves? Dead Alive, or I don't know, Joe Russo, something or other. Almost Dead. Should be fun. All right. Be careful out there, y'all. I'll see you guys soon. Yeah, I'll probably get some hats made. Where's that hat? By the way, I feel bad. I went to this. Look at this. Look at this hat. Look at that cool hat. This is a nice hat, right? It's got the small brim. There was like 1,000 of these hats. I went to that not Benzinga. I went to that StockTwits event. This is one of the sponsors. I should have took a whole sleeve of these hats. They're really nice, and they were just sitting there, hundreds of shirts and like hundreds of hats. Nobody was taking them because everybody, I guess, nobody wanted them. Anyway, nice hat. But all right, I've been rattling on too soon, too long. Stop in, join now, and you'll get the alert system built in to the product. If not, you might have to go a la carte. All right, see you.